Hey, this old Brad here. You know, Jesus told us to go to the world and make disciples and to be a part of the Great Commission, and so that's what I've been doing my whole life. And so I want to invite you to be a part of being discipled and learning to defend the faith. I want to use the things that I've learned over the years to teach you how to make disciples and defend the faith. So my 26 years of mission work to 17 different countries. I've been to Africa and to Asia and to Europe and the Middle East and South and Central America, and so all my experience and my 35 years worth of discipling men here and men in the States and men overseas is a part of what I'll be teaching you about how to make disciples and how to grow in your faith. And so we're going to talk about that, how to make disciples and defend the faith. Listen, one of the things we're going to talk about is that before we ever go, right, before we ever get busy for Jesus, is that we realize that he calls us to himself. He calls us to an intimate relationship with himself. So before we ever go, before we ever get busy, we realize he is the fuel that lights the fire in our heart for his glory among the nations and in our neighborhood. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about first, that God calls us to himself first. We're going to learn about objective truth and subjective truth and understanding. How can we interpret and understand the world around us? And then we're going to talk about renewing your mind and overcoming temptation. These are the conversations that I have with men that I'm discipling on a weekly basis. And how do you read your Bible? And how do you teach your children to read their Bible? And how do you teach your disciple to read his Bible so that he can teach someone else how to read his Bible? And so we're going to explain why we believe what we believe. Not just what we believe, but why do we believe these things? We're going to talk about how to clarify and share the gospel, right? The gospel according to Jesus, not men's be good and live your best life gospel. Not that one, because that's not even the gospel. We're going to talk about how to clarify and share the gospel according to Jesus. We're going to talk about how to defend the faith. I'm going to give you some practical tools to use in your daily conversations about how to do that. And ultimately, we want to become world visionary, world impacting, reproducing disciple makers and be a part of fulfilling the Great Commission that Jesus called us to do. Listen, I spent 7 years studying and looking at the relationship of Jesus with his disciples. And so I've learned some things, and I want to teach those to you about what did he do with his disciples and what did he teach them. And so I want to share that with you. And listen, if you can't come on Sunday morning, maybe you can come on Monday night, right? And if you can't come on Monday night, maybe you can come on Sunday morning. But listen, here's something that's a little strange, but maybe you can come if you've never been discipled, but you want to be discipled. You want to learn how to read your Bible. You want to learn how to defend the faith. You want to make disciples who will make other disciples. You want to learn how to clarify and share the gospel. Nobody's ever taught you that at your church. Okay, why don't you come to my church Sunday mornings at 9:00, just for an hour. I'll teach you these things, and you can go back to your church for the 11 o'clock service at your church. You'll be discipled at my church, and then when you go back to your church, you can begin to get a vision to disciple the people in your church. So that's pretty cool. I hope you can come and be a part of either Sunday morning at 9:00 or Monday night at 6:30.